All right, everyone, we are live. It's so great to see you. I am joined today by the founder of MetaInside. His name is Shaquille. We're going to get into a great interview. I'm super excited to be speaking with him. Anytime you can interview somebody with his talents, building out the future of AI and blockchain, I'm really interested to hear what he has to say. After the interview, of course, we're going to get into some news and questions and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm really excited to welcome Shaquille here. Do you want to introduce yourself to the audience and kind of, who you are, where you came from, and kind of how you got to this point? Just a little bit about you. That'd be cool to understand that.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. Thank you, Sensei, for inviting me.
Of course.
First of all, I would like to not only thank you, also thank you, community. And this is not paid interview, and there are only few interviews where you have been invited or recommended by community. So first of all, I want to let my community knows I'm suffering from COVID and just recovering. So sometime I might be having some cough or maybe some, there might be some voice distortion. So please bear with us. So I'm Shakil. I went to KAIST, that is kind of MIT of Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. And where I met Vitalik Buterin back in August 2015. Ethereum was just launched, and how I happened to be in crypto and blockchain area. I was the president of that institute for Crypto Club. I was teaching students about Solidity, programming, Python, and then I founded Genesis Lab in August 2017 again. It was a solo venture, and now it's happened to be 100 plus software engineers in AI and blockchain area. We work with several blockchain, Kaya blockchain. We build some project for them. Some of our tech stack is there. We also work with Terra Luna and some enterprises and so many startups. So before KAIST and my PhD, I used to work with one government strategic department in IT area. So this is my background and how we started MetaInside. This is very interesting. One of our client, he came to, he told me like he want to explore virtuals. So can you explore virtual for me? What is a virtual ecosystem? So as we were building MetaInside, because we know the future is going to change, our job, our roles are going to enhance, like TV and radio mechanics. They don't exist. Their role has been changed. So our role are as a developer are going to change. So what we have to do, we have to build the tools or the agents or the ecosystem where we can be relevant. So we were building MetaInside in that context. So we were not looking to launch our token. So we were testing virtual. So I decided, why not I just create mint token and leave it, and we can take it after 5 to 6 months.
Okay.
But I didn't know there are snipers, and those snipers are literally not simple like 1-2 people. They are VCs.
Yeah.
And some VCs know about me, and they started to approach me. They search my GitHub, they search because the MetaInside domain was registered on my name. GitHub was on my name. It's a premium domain. Everything is a premium with the MetaInside. They started to approach me, and I was testing with the $100 and just leave it there, so nobody will pay attention, and then we take it from there. Now there are snipers. They took a lot of tokens from us.
Yeah.
And now there are people, they are talking, they know about me, and they are talking about MetaInside. Are you serious about this project? Yes, we are serious, but we were not serious about token. We were not launching our token that point of time. So we decided to take it on. That's how we started to buy from the bonding curve. We are the first token. It's very interesting. If you don't know the history of MetaInside or the mint token, we launched token with the $100, and the remaining all of the supply we bought on the bonding curve on charts and top of the charts. Everybody doubted on us. We participated the first VEDR virtual hackathon, and we won that hackathon, and everybody was doubting on us, like how this big company cannot afford $10,000, $20,000 or
Mm,
$25,000 to launch a token.
yeah.
But this is the background. I cannot explain everybody like what is the background and how it happened to us. um, but ultimately we took it, and the people were poking us, are you serious? After graduation from that prototype to Sentinel, are you serious about the project? We decided to be radio silence and keep building.
Yeah.
We launched our beta version, and then we were planning to launch in September everything. The communities, we made some videos, we made the new product, we improved the product, and we shared with the community, and the community is taking off from there. But what is coming next, what we are building next, that is more exciting. Right now you are seeing, yeah.
Well, let's do this, Shaquille. There's a lot of people that don't know what Meta Inside is. So let's, before we kind of get into, what's coming and the roadmap and all that stuff, let's just kind of back it up. It's good to have the backstory on the creation, and like you guys, wanted to build this technology, and you guys really, you launched the token, and it was good to get the understanding of kind of how you did that. You guys were really interested in building the product and the ecosystem of Meta Inside. You're not really interested in kind of all of the stuff that came along with promoting the token, because you guys weren't really there yet, it sounded like. And so why don't we kind of back up to say, like, what is Meta Inside? What problems are you guys set out to solve? And so we can better understand that.
Excellent. So it's a prompt to DApp development. The idea is you no code developers, you have some idea. For example, you come up like, I want to know what are the potential projects within the virtual ecosystem, but they are on low cap. You just write this prompt on the prompt, and you will get the product. Like, how can I have some that kind of analytics product? Or like a sniper, I gave example. So I want to build a sniper, just write a prompt, and you will get the prototype first within the first prompt, and then you can enhance that prompt to add on features. And it's not just like a apps, it's a replet. So that's what I am saying on Twitter, like, it's the value that you hold in your hand. It's not simple, it's more than that. Replets raised $200 million at $1.3 billion valuations. The same Lovable, they raised around 60 90 or 67, I forgot the exact, it's like more than $60 million they raised on the valuations of billion of dollars. And they are only app developer. They are focused only on the app development. We focus on the DApp development.
Okay.
So yeah.
So if people are kind of catching up to all of this, it sounds like, before all of the AI and all of this stuff kind of created, if you wanted to build a DApp or something technical, you needed somebody that could code and develop and deploy and had all of these skills. It sounds like you guys have been able to create a shortcut so people like myself that have like no ability to code could use Meta Inside to create some type of DApp or application just out of a prompt. Is that kind of on a very easy to understand scale? Is that kind of what you guys are doing?
Excellent. So we are making a solo entrepreneurs. We are
Okay.
thinking like there will be a one person who will be doing his own venture. And before that, as you said, like even right now, if you have to develop something, you need at least 5 to 6 developers. And usually in historically, you need 7 to 8 developers team that can
Wow.
build something for you.
What does that usually
And
cost to have that many developers? I mean, like you probably would know. This is something that, if you have an idea and you want to create that idea, you have to have money to back up to hire all those people, right? So what does that cost? Like I'm trying to think outside the
the
box here about this.
Excellent. The cost is relevant. The minimum is mostly in India and Pakistan, and you can get also very good developers from there. And even to maintain for one good dApp, if
Mhm.
you have like 5 to 6 developer, you are going to spend around 15 to 20K.
Wow.
And if you have a really good developers, and right now the cost of development and the innovation is getting very very cheaper.
Yeah. So you guys are basically somewhere where somebody, would have to spend 15, 20,000 minimum to take their idea and build it and code it and everything like that. You're able to do this with no developers, no skill, basically using Meta Inside prompt, kind of tell it what you want to do, and then poof, it kind of it gives you a product, and you can actually over time you can help develop and make that product even better. Is that kind of what I understood when you were explaining that?
Yeah, like the 15 20,000 is just per month cost, and
Oh yeah.
it's a like 3 to 4 months cost. So you are
Oh
going
wow.
to spend like 60 to 80,000 for one simple dApp. And if there is more complexity, for example, you are building kind of a 1 inch kind of a aggregator, you want to compete with them, you have to do the algo for finding paths, and then you have to write smart contracts, and then you have to make those front end where sorry, your data should load on the front end side and all the integration, and then you have to write all the tests for these integration unit tests. So it take like around 3 to 4 months minimum for your first product to see. And what happened, I have like a talk on Solana Breakpoint on 2023 about this, and consensus how software usually fail. They got over budget, they got cancelled, or you cannot see even your product altogether fail. And this is a historical past 25 years data, and now we are heading toward a direction where you can see at least within 1 day your prototype, like your MVP. If you spend really like 1 day, within like 500 to $1,000 spending, you can have your prototype MVP, and then you can get the white glove support from the developers, and your product is ready within a week or 2 week.
So you basically taken something that could take half a year or even longer to develop, and you've shrunk that down, not only to save money at scale, but to save time, right? And really allow people to create whatever they want in a matter of a few days or even a few hours, if it's not as extremely complicated. Like how like excuse me, let me back up, because this is really exciting to think about, right? How how long does it actually take, right? You put the prompt in, and how long does it take your system to develop and build all of this stuff? Is it like hours? Is it minutes? Is it days? Like, so I can understand. I'm sure people at home would love to understand that as well.
Excellent. The first prompt, usually we request people to write short. For example, what you want. Just give a high level idea. I want DEX. Just say I want DEX, and let AI does the magic. We have enhanced prompt enhancement agent. It will take your prompt, and then it will enhance the idea and then feed to project management agent, and that project management agent will divide their task to code generation, front end, back end, unit test writing, and then the integration agent will come up. So altogether it takes, and there's like a back and forth, like the chain of thinking in LLM. The same way for this development, there is a orchestration of AI agents. Um so first we recommend to just write like one prompt, and all the magic done by our AI agent, you will get something. And then you give more prompts to enhance that product. Like, oh,
Got
I want this color, I want this. For example, there in Lucid library, we don't have a Ethereum logo. So you can say like, okay, just write ETH there, or ETH in capital, or those kind of fixations. You can do it later. First, give a simple prompt, and it will take around like 10 minutes to give you the result, maximum.
Wow. So you've taken something that normally takes months to maybe even half a year, and you brought it down to minutes. That is That is absolutely mind blowing. I did want to ask you right there. It seems like AI and this ability to create things is happening even faster and faster. How does Meta Inside different? How are they different from other companies in the same space trying to do the same thing? Right? Can you kind of give me, because I don't know, I'm not super advanced in AI, and I'm just learning as normal people do, and so how does Meta Insight differentiate from the competitors?
Excellent, very good question. So there are companies those are developing like LLM models. We are not developing LLM models. We are agnostic from them. There are companies those are focused on app development, every app development. We using Meta Insight, you can develop every app, but our focus is mainly to DApp development. So,
Okay.
what is the difference technically? What is the difference? There is a lot of integrations. For example, right now we are using SolC to compile smart contract. We are moving to the Foundry and then Hard Hat or maybe Anvil. These are like the tools.
Mhm.
I'm not going like more details about the technical side, but like these kind of tools, which tools we have. For example, the other LLM, they know these tools, but they don't have integration of those tools. And for example, you want some data like live data, LLM don't have those kind of data from the RPC endpoints in some graph, like the graph protocol, and then they feed to your dapps or to your products. So we are doing those kind of integrations, making some agents, they take those data and integrate in your product. So these are the heavy lifting that we are doing that other companies are not doing, and they might not uh, they, they might not pay attention to this until like 1 year 2 years, because they are tackling the bigger ecosystem. They want to first focus on apps. We are focusing mainly on dapps, and dapps on EVM. First our target is EVM because EVM is the biggest
Yeah.
developer ecosystem.
You're a smart man. That's exactly where you need to be. So you would say then your target audience for Meta Inside is mostly like blockchain. Yeah, who would you say is like, who do you consider is your typical or average customer? Like who's coming to Meta Inside right now to build D apps? Would you say they're the people in the crypto space? Would you say it's maybe some institutions or companies are starting to pay attention? Who are you focused on right now?
So our community is mainly like snipers, trader,
Okay.
degens, and I love that. I
Yeah,
love that.
got to
And
start
then we
somewhere.
are the yeah, and we are the developers. So it's a marriage of two different communities. So
Got it.
we are giving them a power, and they have super good ideas. Like
Yeah.
I can't imagine how they make money. Like we are spending day and nights like working hard writing codes, and they are super smart. They know the shortcut how to make better money, and they have a better brain, I believe, in that case. So why not give them a power to develop their apps? If they have this kind of a superpower to develop, do some automation very quickly, they can triple x whatever they are doing right now, or maybe 10x. So they are mainly our users, and I'm lucky to have those users already as our community member. And the token holding is kind of a share of the company. You have the share of the company, and you are part of the company. We are building the product. Why we are light headed on the token is in our plan now. Like we are not buying too much token,
Mhm.
because ultimately we will be consuming this token. You have to spend meta inside min token to build something.
See, now that's where I wanted to get to. And so, people are always going to ask, how does the token fit into all of this? Because often, you do see companies that are built, and they're like, hey, we got to add a token. But realistically, at the end of the day, you probably didn't need a token for everything. But it sounds like the token is going to be kind of a key point to all of this. So, can you lay it out in kind of simple terms how the token plays into Meta Inside's, future development, and if when people come to build their D apps, are they using the token to pay for services or use services? How does that all work?
Yeah. So the in natural language processing models like LLM, we use tokens, and they charge you per token. So these LLM charge you as a credit per token, how many tokens you spend. So we have already token, and we can easily relate the payment module. For example, you pay us $20 worth of token, and you will be getting that much credit for that service. And not only to use like LLM and our infrastructure to develop, and then there is a most important part is a white glove support. For example, right now we cannot give for testnet we can give a private key to this automation or automated system, but we cannot give for deployment of mainnet. uh, right now people are not very about keeping their private key in environment variable, as we can see in the pump.fun in back in uh, last year when they were exploited by their one of the engineer because the private key was in environment variable. This shouldn't happen. This should be in somewhere where even human cannot see your private key. So at that point of time you need white glove support, and you can spend min even to pay for the white glove support. And we are setting up Discord where there will be a ticketing system. For example, you develop something and after this you see like, oh, now AI, because the AI is not where it's supposed to be and where it will be in next 6 months or 1 year. So still you need developers,
Yeah.
you need white glove support. So min will be used to even pay for the white glove support. That will be democratized, not for one person. Right now, how we are charging, this is our secret, but I am opening up. For example, at Genesis Lab, if you are giving us a project, your requirement, these are black and white, like documents or some design. We give you a proposal, like we will charge this much money, and we are giving as per the pocket of client. For example, if you are very big company and if you are a very small company we are developing, we are going to charge you small money. But if you are a big company, we're going to charge you a big money. And this is what we are doing. And not only us, so many companies
Yeah.
are giving proposal like this. But here we are making it more democratized, like it will be for everybody, the same price for everybody, and not I believe we will not be the only player. We hope there will be more player. Right now, we don't see any player in the market, and we hope there will be more. Those will follow us. But I think in future we will be a moat. We will be way forward from them. They will be just taking our services and presenting their services um, to their client, but at the back end they will be taking our services.
So help me better understand this. When you say there's not, not much competition right now, is that not much competition in the D app space because most people are focused on the app side of things and not the D app side of things? Is that kind of what you were saying, or did I misunderstand that?
Yes, exactly. On the DApp side there is not. Have you seen any like good company or the good project that is building on EVM side?
No.
There is like some other non EVM, like Solana is doing some effort, but that is on Solana, and Solana itself is giving some money. I know these guys, and they're giving like some how
Grant.
to develop only for the Solana ecosystem.
Yeah.
But in our case, when we are talking to other ecosystem, we are also talking to other partners. Now we started to talk to the chains, because first we were focused on our product itself, because there is so many moving parts.
Parts.
First is the front end that you are seeing it, and then there is a back end, and then there is an infrastructure side. For example, right now you can deploy on Netlify, you can deploy on any you can deploy on Vercel. But now we want to control this deployment, because we want to also take the cloud business. You have to pay us, even just don't develop with us and leave. Develop with us, stay with us, deploy with us, and pay us every month if your business is doing good. And not only here, we have another plan, like not only hosting with us, also launch raise fund with us.
Mm. Can
That
you
is
talk to
called
us more
Meta
about
Launch.
that? Yeah, talk to
That
us
is
more
a
about that.
Yeah, so the Meta Launch is a launch pad. The idea is, if you develop product, what you have to do next, you have to raise fund for this, or you have to launch token in Web3 ecosystem. So why not provide a launch pad and also make partnership? First, we will open up our launch pad, and then we will also talk to virtual. If you want to raise fund, if you develop at MetaInside, you can also raise fund on virtual ecosystem by Genesis. But you can also raise at Meta Launch. But raising with Meta Launch, definitely we will be giving some incentive. Those can be like, okay, this project is going to get this much, like we are going to take the token of that product and providing them a hosting for 6 months. So their product, they don't need to worry about their product operational or OPEX, operational expenditures. So that kind of benefit we will do. And the min will be used to raise fund.
I think you can tell when I'm interviewing someone and they've been in the blockchain space for a long time. You can tell, right? Because their ideas and their development and the way that they are moving the company speaks to years of experience of trial and errors and what works and what doesn't work. And it sounds like you are building all of these different avenues for Meta Inside that does involve the token, because that is very important at the end of the day. When you have a company or you have a crypto project and people cannot figure out what the token is used for, people cannot relate. But when you start bringing all these incredible ideas and the development of the entire company, and you're like, hey, this is how we're going to deploy it, and this is your people are going to be able to support this through the token. That's really what people want to hear that are supporting the ecosystem. So my hats are off to you. Is there anything else? Like you talked about this launch
Yeah,
pad, we talked about the DApps. What else is you got up that sleeve of yours?
there are more, but I will give you an idea. For the min utility, we didn't pay attention to the min for a longer time. We are paying attention to the min. Listen very carefully. The money, the min we are going to get, we are also going to share with the holders, because we are also the holders. And we are not going to take all the profit. Out of profit, there is like some expenses. Out of the profit, we are going to burn 50% whatever we are going to get min. So min will be having a burning capability, because the 1 billion min are too many at this point of time. But in future, we want it to reduce drastically. How the BNB got, like, I saw BNB in 0.00 something. I saw even ETH in that price range, and we were excited when it was $12. So we want the min in the same way. The supply should reduce. It shouldn't be like a deflationary coin. It should be not. It should like the supply should reduce. The holder should have some benefit. For example, somebody is not using our services, they're not interested to do anything, and they just want to live a free life by earning by tokens. So why not just holding min, they can earn money.
You really have thought about a lot of this, which you can tell. And what's nice when you're talking about it, you're smiling, you're passionate. This is what you love to do, and that's extremely important. um we did talk about a lot of the functionalities around Meta Inside, with the DApp deployment lifecycle. Is there anything that we missed along the way? Anything that standing out in your mind that we haven't talked about as far as the deployment of the actual DApps?
So there is so much that I can talk about Meta Inside, because we worked a lot on the tech side. And there is one more idea. For example, over the decade of software development experience, I saw a lot of dead code sitting on GitHub. A lot of we use Bitbucket. A lot of dead code sitting there. And when somebody asks us, do you have this kind of a product, then we go through this code and, oh yes, we have this kind of a product, and show them. So why not make a marketplace, put all that like invention that you develop through this Meta Inside. And if somebody comes again, he shouldn't he didn't need to think about this. It should be a template there. He can take that template, and then the same code he can pull out from that marketplace by spending maybe $5-10, and then enhance that code. And the user who developed that early on, and now he is not interested in that code, that shouldn't go in waste. So it's a reusability of the code. um, so you are basically like, you have Invato theme that is earning for your life, like for entire of your life, whoever is going to use that template, they can earn money. So that's a marketplace that we are thinking for the Meta Insight.
That's where my mind was going as you were talking, as you were laying out. People that are developing, or people that right now that are developing maybe an app or D app that other people are interested in using. Having a marketplace, like you were saying, that either people could come and use the code, or people could use the D app and like rename it something else or whatever, and then they can pay the person who was originally the design of that. That's a brilliant idea. How you know how long would it take you to develop like this launch pad or the marketplace? Like how far out on the roadmap is it? So when people, because when people hear these ideas, they don't know if this is something that you're considering 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years. Like, where do you see this evolving over the next few months to few years, so people have a good understanding?
Excellent. Very, very good question. We spent a lot of time for developing this stuff. So this is a presenting, this is a running time for us. This is not just like sitting and developing. We are not going back on the drawing board and start writing. We have already written, we have already developed Meta Launch. We are going to show, we will open a preview version, like you can see how will it look like. We design it like a pump.fun kind of a idea, or um, kind of virtual launch pad. So we designed on those parameters, but we made it more simple, so it shouldn't be difficult for investor. So we will launch the preview version, and then we will take input from the community. It will be a test version. Right now, you can see all services are free. We are paying for everything. There is a commercial version that is coming up. We are working on the commercial version where deployments will be on our server. We are talking to AWS. We are talking to Google Cloud, who is going to give us a much better free credits, like a 300K. Before that, we have 100K for our startup. So how much we can get more credit, so we can also extend that benefit to our users. So so the question is like the roadmap. The roadmap in September, you will be seeing a lot of drops. Meta launch, we are going to drop next week. Next week, now it's a weekend in Korea. So next week we are going to drop a preview version. Preview version is like, I said, like we are developing in public. I'm seeing this thing on Twitter. The people don't understand. We give you a product. You can see, oh, it's look like this. You can test, you can play around it. And then we are launching the actual project. So this is developing in public, and we are getting feedback. People are giving us a feedback. For example, on Meta Inside, we are getting feedback like, why don't you provide mm, this capability there? Like white gloves capability was our users feedback that we got. We don't have this idea like we should make a Discord server where we have a ticketing system. So this was our users feedback. So we are dropping Meta launch next week. I'm going to say on your um,
Alpha.
podcast.
Yeah, we got some alpha here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we're thinking
Yeah.
next week we're going to launch the beta version of the launch pad, Meta
The
launch
preview version, we call it
preview.
preview, mean like it's how will it look like. So you can go click play around. It's not, it will not give you the functionality actually to invest, but you can see like how you can raise fund. But it's already developed. We have tested several times. So we have to just integrate, because the commercial version, we are working on it. The commercial version, we have already lot of success. the commercial version. For example, you will just give a command and you will have your product. You don't need to see this code. These codes are for developers, and if you want to access the code, we will give you access the code. Right now it's a free, you can just take the code and run away, and you can give to another developer some few dollar. So what is the benefit for us? So we are putting some restrictions
Mm,
on this code
I
and the
understand.
product. So that is the commercial product that we are building. So everything will be going on backend. That will be based on request. If you want to access the code, you have to request, you have to pay some min, then you can download the code. If you want to
Dude,
uh,
I love it. Everything involves min. That is the
yes,
most important thing
exactly.
here.
So
Everything
what is
involves.
meaning of
Yeah,
min? Do you know, Sensei, what is meaning of min?
please
I,
tell me. I want to
so
know.
I'm in Korea since 2012, and I love this culture. That's how we have also Mr. Andrew Choi as head of dev relation. So min meaning people, community. So
Mm,
when I was thinking about the token, like, okay, meta inside min, people, community, and God willings, it's a community driven product. It's a community driven token. We didn't spend. We spent like we were scammed for 3 million token by some so-called influencer. Sorry, community. We were,
it happens.
and we spent like we gave distributed to some community members around 5 million token very early on.
Yeah.
Other than that, we didn't distribute a single dollar for anything other than spending on our products or on our developers, because we know we are building already million of dollars of the product that we can raise also equity
Yeah.
for that product.
Is that the goal for you then? One of the goals obviously is to, maybe take this thing public, or raise money to build out more. Like, if you want to, I know if sometimes people can or can't expand on that. So if you can, we'd love to hear it. But if you can't, I understand.
We are registered company. This is also a news for the holders. So Meta Inside is a registered company, and definitely we're gonna raise equity, small equity, but the token will be the main blood of the product and the product. The equity will be to fuel our ecosystem to grow, like many blockchain. I was there, like even when Cosmos was raising Polkadot, Avalanche, Professor Amin. We sat together when he was raising $20 million. I'm going to talk to Avalanche. That is also an alpha for our community. I'm going to talk Avalanche community next week. Not the community, but like their top tier uh, management. How can we bring Meta Insight to Avalanche? That is also EVM chain. So right now we are talking about min, like how to figure out min when we are moving to, for example, Avalanche and other EVM based uh, blockchain. How should we move our token there? Shouldn't we go multi-chain token? The same token should be a multi-chain token, like going to EVM. If you are developing on, for example, Avalanche, you can use our token. So I'm going to talk to them next week and some other chain as well. This is also in our roadmap, and this is just a start. We started on base. That was a purpose. Like it is most efficient at that point of time, but we are moving to other EVM chains as well.
No, and sorry, I didn't. I bought a new laptop, and when you have a new laptop and you have to like allow sharing of the screen and all of that, it wanted to close the window, but it still is letting me share it. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to pull this up because I know there's some people in the audience that are trying to figure out like what is min, right? And where can I get it? And so I just wanted to address this because I know some of my audience. I've talked about min actually the last, like, I don't know, I can't remember. Let me see exactly when I bought this, because I bought it about $1 million market cap. And I shared it with my community, and I've been talking about it so much. And so it's just so awesome to have you here. But let me just see when I first brought this up to my community. And I want to show people kind of where they can get it if that's what they're interested in doing. I think it's Hold on. You know what? Let me do this. Let me tell people where they can get it, and then I can find out when we started talking about it. So, what is the best and easiest way for people to buy Min right now? Is it through Uniswap? You would say
I will recommend, if you are buying first time, go to virtual ecosystem,
virtuals. Okay.
virtuals.io, buy
Yep.
it from there. Why virtuals.io? Because you don't know the smart contract address. So you can find us if you go to the virtuals.io. So you will find us
Right
just
here.
like writing Meta Inside. Yes, it's much easier to
So
find out. So you
on
don't end up like going to some scams or something bad stuff. Yeah.
So just so you know, guys, let me just walk you through this. So when you're buying virtuals, virtuals are on Base chain. Base is a layer two. It's Coinbase's chain. It's a layer two on Ethereum. And if you're trying to buy Min or other virtuals, a few ways you can do that. The easiest way, or one of the easiest ways, is to go to virtuals.io. And this is a place that you're going to be able to. You got to buy the virtuals token, and then you swap the virtuals token for min or other virtuals. And this, we're talking about min here. And so one of the ways, since I'm a little, I would say I'm a little bit more advanced than a beginner, and so sometimes I use Uniswap. I go get the smart contract. So if you're on like Deck Screener and you go to search and you search min here, just make sure that you have the right one. There are going to be scams. Like I'd imagine some of these, could be scams. So just make sure you're on the right one. You can copy the code here. So like right here, there's a little button. It says little copy button, and this will actually give you the contract address. And so you can take the contract address, you can search it here, or even you can go to Uniswap and type it in, and then you can swap directly. And so I just wanted to be very clear on how people are able to do that. So if they're interested in participating in the Min ecosystem. And so it's really like this chart is looking pretty nice. You can see it's building and building and building it. And I do feel sooner or later we're going to break through some of this resistance, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I also wanted to take some time to just highlight this is the correct Twitter account. Okay, so right now we got about 1,366 followers. I'm going to put all some of these links into the chat so people don't have to go too far to find any of this stuff. So I'm going to give you the deck screener. I'm going to give you the virtuals where you want to go if you're able to participate if you want to. I'm going to give you the website. I'm going to give you everything that you need. And if you're listening to this on replay, everything will be in the description of this video. As soon as I am done, I will put everything into the description. Um, let's do this. Is there anything we haven't touched on that you feel is extremely important, or stuff that you're passionate about with to do with Min that we haven't addressed yet? Because sometimes the project best, right? You know what you can talk about, what you can't. What else are we missing?
I already dropped a lot of
You
alpha
did.
during your podcast.
You did.
So the only do your research. That's what I will
Yes.
tell to the investor holders. What we are building, we are building prompt to DApp development platform, and what other companies have raised so far, similar companies raised so far. Sorry. And where are we? We are all, what are our results? Our results are, if not better than Replit, it's not less than Replit. And they raised $200 million at $1.3 billion valuation. And we launched in public a token where our market cap is of $4 million, where we are sitting right now, and where we are heading next. We are heading to undeniable utility of our token and our platform. That's where we are heading. So this is the only point. And go use MetaInside, app.metainside.io. We didn't put any token information on our website. You will go on our website, you will find only about using our platform. And there will be a lot of changes coming up. We will make it more simpler. Just go there. You don't need to hold anything. Just connect wallet, uh, any empty wallet, any empty EVM wallet, decentralized wallet, MetaMask, any. and after this you will get the prompt
Yeah,
similar to chat gpt. Yes.
I don't have a wallet hooked up. It's a brand new browser, or I would do it. But I just wanted to share people app.metainside.io if they're interested in getting that information or connecting to it. So I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please continue.
Yeah, thank you. So use our platform and then decide what is this product, what is the worth, where we are heading, and then go and deep dive in min. So I saw some Degen friends are the community member. I have a lot of respect for them. They buy first token and then they ask us, what is the purpose of this platform? So please go check out our platform first, check out the technology, become a true believer, and then deep dive into the min token or become a community member.
Now that's very smart. Use the technology, understand the technology before you invest, right? And nothing on here obviously is financial advice. If you need financial advice, go talk to a financial advisor. We're just talking about the technology behind min and why I'm personally excited. I am a token holder, and just to be completely transparent, I was really excited to have you on because there's been a lot of people talking about how incredible you've been in the blockchain space the last 10 years, and all of your accomplishments, and anytime I can get somebody of your caliber into an interview, I know it's going to be filled with just some incredible information. And so I want to thank you for your time today. I know that you're just coming off having COVID, and that's terrible, and I hope you feel better fast. But thank you for enlightening the community with your knowledge and your inspiration, and the technology that you guys are building. I think the blockchain space is definitely in need of people like you. And I know there's a lot of people in the audience that are already min holders that are probably even more excited now to hold on to the token. Is there anything that you wanted to say? At the end here, obviously, we're going to have you back when there's updates and things to talk about. We want to hear about those directly from you. But is there anything else that you would like to share in the final moments here? We would love to hear it.
Yeah, thank you, community, for um, very good response. Thank you, Crypto Sensei, for inviting, not charging a single dollar.
Of
If you
course.
see our dev wallet, whatever the tax which will put on our smart contract, we are not touching that tax. We are buying min from that tax. Why we are buying min from that tax? So that money is there. We didn't even start our marketing. This is all your wonderful support, and I'm thankful to the community. Just hold on for a few more days and we're gonna go very good. Yeah, and I'm so thankful to our community and Crypto Sensei. Thank you so much. People like so far influencer, they're charging hundred of dollars and the value is nothing, and you invited me, you bought our token and invited me on your show to talk about our product. So I love that, I love that. Thank you so much.
You, you,
Thank
you
you.
know, sometimes when it comes to my personal beliefs and my growth in the crypto space, some people you just want to interview, and you will do that absolutely free, or if you have to give them a little bit, you will do that. And this has been an honor on my side. And just to be able to talk to somebody developing and building at the scale that you are, I am 100% rooting for you, and I am behind the ecosystem, and I know my community is too. I did want to highlight the person that did connect us here, Base Tetra. He did bring us into a group. Without his support, we wouldn't have been able to make this connection. So I just want to thank him. I know he's been working really hard behind the scenes to expand Min into the community and get information out. And actually, I had a phone call with him over the weekend. Really nice guy, and really thankful that he was able to connect us. So, Shaquille, thank you so much. Keep building, man. And then as soon as you want to come back, you got an update anytime, free of charge. You let me know, and we'd be lucky to have you back on. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All
It
right, my
was
friend.
honor. It was honor. Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hey, listen, we get to interview such cool people in the crypto space. That man That man's gonna go on to do some really cool stuff. He already has, right? But like, I just want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of it. Richard, I know you like that, man. I know you like that interview, Richard. Shaquille it. I love it, man. Shaquille it. That's so good. That's so good. Oh, he had one more thing to say.
Did should I leave or is it
Oh
okay?
yeah. Well, I'm gonna go into some news and some other information. So I'm gonna spend some
Okay,
time with the
okay,
community, and yeah, we usually talk for like a few hours. So
okay,
yeah,
okay,
feel free to go rest. Go rest. You got a
okay.
lot of things coming up. We appreciate you.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Thank you,
Shaquille.
thank you,
Thanks, brother.
thank you, thank
Bye.
you.
Man, what a nice guy too. You gotta love that, right? He's smart, intelligent, kind, all around good guy. Love that. All right, let's do this. We have so much to get into. We got 600 people just hanging out. So I love that, guys. I hope you enjoyed that interview. Really, sometimes, you interview the right person at the right time. You get some really good information, and that's what the crypto space is, right? Being connected to the information, right, and being connected to the developers and the builders and inspiration, man. And you know, obviously, I'm rooting for the individual, but I'm also rooting for the community and the project itself. So let's do this. Let's jump into some information here. We got a lot of stuff happening in the crypto space. As usual, it is never a dull moment. Key US economic data points are now on Chainlink via data feeds across these blockchains. Remember when we were talking about this? Remember when we were talking about this on Tuesday, right? That was Tuesday, right? It's Friday today. And we didn't quite have the information about like who is involved. And we were talking about it. And I made a point to say, it's got to be Chainlink, right? Does anybody remember that from Tuesday, right? Huh? Yes? Yes? Thank you. Man. Good to see you, Christopher. What's up, man? Scott, great to see you too, man. Well, here, let's just say what's up to the community here. We are all learning. Bill, great to see you, Bill. How's it going, man? Roz is here. Great to see you. Thank you. Morning to Ariana. We got Zelfer and I. We got Jezabar is here. It's great to see you, Jezabar. Robert Pellegrino is here. What's up, Robert? Great to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here as usual. We got David here. We got Christopher's in the chat. Man, I know some of these new tokens can be a little difficult to buy, like when you're so used to using a centralized exchange. Now, like as your skills develop in the crypto space, using a decentralized exchange, that's how you get the stuff early, right? Not everything launches on big exchanges, and you kind of don't want that, right? If you can find something real early, that is where all the money is in crypto, right? That is where all the money is. And just to give you an example here, MetaInside, our team, we were able to locate that at $1 million market cap. It'd have been nice to get it even cheaper. But I was really bullish on the technology. And after speaking with Shaquille, I'm kind of sad I didn't buy more. Like you just don't know what you don't know. But being able to learn how to use a MetaMask, learn how to use Uniswap, learning how to use virtuals.io, these are going to be some key important things that you need to develop if you want to get into things early. Now, getting into things early also comes with a lot of risk. So until you understand those risks and until you understand that there are a lot of scams around this, please develop those skills before you try to jump in here head first, okay? Because there is a lot of pitfalls, and I care about you deeply, and I want to see you succeed out here. Let's go ahead and just get into some of this information. So it does look like you got some Chainlink data feeds here: Arbitrum, Avalanche, Base, Botonics, okay, Ethereum, Linea, Mantle, Optimism, Sonic, and ZK Sync. So love to see the U.S. government moving towards innovation. And then Chainlink says, we're excited to work with the U.S. Department of Commerce to bring key government economic data onto all of these. Didn't I tell you though? I said like this sounds like Chainlink, dude. Chainlink is involved somehow here. We were spot on here, guys. We were spot on here. Tom Lee, Tom Lee is trying to sell Ethereum like an ice cream man is trying to sell ice cream. So Tom Lee, founders of Fundstrat Global Advisors, says a 10-year bull market has started, set to last until 2035. Can you imagine a 10-year bull market? what is that even like? 10 years. So like, I guess like Tom Lee says, we're not going to have cycles. Let me play this for you.
Rate to like 40% of the S&P, and then of course healthcare could benefit. So I think there's a lot to be excited about, and 2035 sounds about right. That would be a 10-year bull run from here.
That's really interesting on those sector picks, which I want to get into in a second. But sticking on the broad market for a moment, in terms of the risks that are out there, and we've had Jeremy Grantham on, we've had Ray Dalio on, so we've touched on some of these. But are you not concerned about, let's talk of the main one of the week, Fed interference, for example, or if anything, does that spur equities potentially?
Yeah, it's I mean, Wilfred, Fed independence is really important because the Fed is the single most powerful entity in the world, right? Because what the Fed says triggers an instant response across all markets and CEOs and policymakers everywhere, and even government. So that being independent is critical. I think that we're going to ultimately find that the administration does accede to what markets rationalization is, and I think the markets don't want to see a non-independent Fed. So I'm going to lean towards the idea that Fed Chair Powell serves his term.
All right, let's keep it going here, man. Somebody said something about getting rich. I think that's what we're all trying to do. Raz, I haven't done research on the Metal X platform, and like, I probably won't, guys. Like, one of the things is I can't be everywhere and research every project, and I know some people feel passionate about what they're interested into, but I also need to be also passionate about what I'm interested into. And like right now, like I'm spending a lot of my time looking at some of these virtual projects. I'm spending a lot of my time, of course, keeping up with institutional adoption of crypto and the XRP community. Like that's really where my heart is. So that's kind of where I'm going to focus a lot of my attention. And but hey, man, I hope you kill it, dude. Like I hope things go insane with Metal, and I really want you to be successful, Raz. So I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for it. Let's see here. Lusk says, "Good afternoon, Sensei. Just got here. These people are playing with us so bad right now that we all want to hold the line. It's always the storm before the beauty comes out." And I think there's a lot of truth to what you're saying here. I think some of it's like our generation's a little screwed up, right? In the head, as far as we want things now and we don't want to wait, right? I remember in like the 90s when I was a kid, things didn't happen very quickly. You had to be patient for stuff. And, with these 60-second shorts and these, TikToks and these Instagrams, people want like instant gratification. They want to buy something today and be rich, in an hour from now. And life doesn't work that way. Like, people that are truly wealthy, if they weren't gifted that wealth, they worked real hard to get there. And we are going to need to put in similar amount of work if we're going to be successful out here. And, trust me, I would love to hit the easy button and have XRP go to $1,000 today. That would just be freaking awesome, because I know all of you would be doing way better in your lives as well. But like, I'm prepared to wait. Like if I have to wait another few months, like the Jake Claver, man, is he right? Wait a few months, or am I going to have to wait a few more years? I don't know. Either way, I'm going to be here. And I hope you guys will be too. We'll be chilling. What's up, Slim Jim? Like a boss, man. I like that. We got R54 says Zeepic. All right, man. I know where your heart is. That's cool, dog. That is cool. Play to your strengths. What's up, Steven? How's it? Good to see you, man. Let's see here. Sensei, when you find a project, do you plan on holding for a year or it goes up? So Robert, these are great questions. Great questions. So definitely depends on the project. So when I do a lot of investing in virtuals, in Kryptonaire, like I'm posting a lot of this stuff in Kryptonaires as I'm learning about it. Some of this stuff moves very quickly. It can move up very quickly and it can move down very quickly. Right. And getting the timing right on something is very difficult sometimes, especially if it's like 300, 500K and it's up 100% or 200%. Like that could pump to 1,000%, or that could dump, and go negative. So it's very difficult to get the timing right on some of this stuff. depending on the project, right? It always depends on the project. Like there are thousands of virtuals being created like every feels like every week or something. Like there's, meme coins and new projects. There's all of this stuff being created all the time. And what I've learned very clearly is that you take profit in the initial run up with the excitement. Okay. Now, this is obviously not financial advice. This is just stuff I've learned the hard way over and over again. Usually when something launches, you get a lot of excitement and there's a lot of buildup, right? Whether that is, into the hundreds of thousands of market cap or into the millions of market cap. I mean, I think I showed you the other day, Ori, right? Let me show you this chart, dude. Like this thing went just bananas really quickly and then it came back down. This is kind of what I predicted when we talked about this. So look at this. Like I posted about Ori in Cryptonaires at 380K. I was able to buy it a little sooner than that. I bought it, and then by the time I was able to post about it, it had already gone up, right? And so like this was the initial. This is when I bought it in the 18th, and this is the initial price rise during the 18th when I was talking about it, right? And so you can see when I originally bought this to like some of these top candles, it's 1,000%, right? 1,000% in just a few days. Now, looking back at this chart, where would it have been best to take profit, right? Obviously, you probably took a little bit of profit in the initial run up, maybe like 10%. I took 30. I sold 25% of my bag. Excuse me. I sold 20% and then I sold another 5%. So I sold about 25% of my bag right in this area just to get my initial out and to be in profit. And now the rest is juice, right? But I would have been better to sell my entire bag or close to my entire bag or another maybe 20-30% in this run up, because this was up a few 100%. But by the time I got done streaming, this had already started coming back down. And so I just held on because I knew this was going to probably rebound somewhere and kind of find the bottom. The problem is when you get this price rise here, like here, let me just show you this. You see this gigantic price rise. There's no support down here, right? So eventually that this token is going to need to come back down and find some support and then start to go back up. So if you're trading a new token, be very careful. If you see a chart like this, know that eventually this is going to start coming back down. It's very difficult to call the exact top, but if you would have taken some, decent profit in here, you'd have made a whole lot of money and then you could have bought back. Like looking back now, I probably should have sold a lot more and then bought back, and then I could have had a lot more profit. I wasn't able to. I was doing other things. I wasn't focused on it, but I missed some opportunity here. And I can say that, out loud, I missed the opportunity, and that happens a lot with crypto. It's very difficult to time these things right. Now, if you're trading tokens that are already established, stuff like your XRPs, your XLMs, your XDCs, like these are tokens that, have years of chart and things like that. And we're still speculating on the value of these tokens, but we're nearing a point where that speculation is kind of coming to an end. And we're seeing an institutional demand as well as utility demand when it comes to like regulation and banks and financial institutions using the technology, right? So something like an XRP and an XLM, I'm trying to hold, because I think in the next few years, that's going to be worth a whole lot more. And timing it right and timing it this, and you got to pay taxes and you got to do all of these extra things, which kind of are a pain in the butt, right? 40% in taxes, depending when you bought the crypto. Sometimes it's better just to keep buying and holding, and as it goes up and down, and hopefully you're going to get to that inflection point of where you're going to be, where you want to be, right? With the newer tokens, I'm actively trading those. When it comes to these longer held tokens, I'm trying to hold the bag as long as I can. All right. That was a very winded answer, but it's a very complicated question. And, I'm trying to be as clear and concise as I can when I talk about this stuff. All right. XRP to 589, I would love that, man. I mean, anything a few $100s, I think we're doing some weird, freaky chicken dance, So like, let's get there. Let's get there, man. Looks like we did have 130. Is that one? Wait, hold on. Million. Wait, 130 million, 130 billion was wiped out from the crypto market in the last 24 hours. Holy shit. This is why you don't this is why I tell people, avoid leverage, avoid leverage, avoid, you think you have the market figured out until you get smoked, right? If you're going to play in the leverage field, just be very careful. Like, you are trading against institutions with billions of dollars, and you are trading against machines and algorithms. And I know we all like to think that we're smart and like the center of the universe, but realistically, we are very small fish in a giant ocean filled with some big sharks, some big whales. And just be very careful, how you go about it. There is a lot of demand for XRP. There's also a lot of demand for Solana. So, I wouldn't be doing you justice if we didn't talk about Solana. Let me go ahead and play this for you.
Solana's going to get an ETF soon. Like, I don't know, at what point, but it's coming. The question is, can other things start to break out and it all goes up? Or is it like, if Solana catches a major bid, does that maybe cannibalize the ETH, or is there just new inflows and new money?
That's a good question. I mean, first, the Solana playbook is very clear. We've seen it work in Bitcoin. We've seen it work in ETH, which is ETF with flows, simple story, and treasury company equals rocket ship like returns. Yeah. It's really hard to look at Solana and not see that in the near term future. One or two news stories about Bank of America tokenizing something on Solana, you get that and the price goes up substantially. And as you mentioned, the chart looks really good. I don't know. My base case is that there's going to be so much demand for these assets in Q4 that it's going to lift multiple boats. But yeah, I think you'll see money rotate into Solana for the exact reasons we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that think Solana, could be more valuable than XRP. We'll have to see how that plays out. I think looking back at history, Solana has done a lot of damage to the crypto market. I know, people are, institutions, this and this and this, but you know how much money has been lost on Solana due to meme coins and scams and stuff like that. I don't think people realize the tens of billions of dollars that has been lost this cycle on Solana. And so until like Solana's cleaned up a little bit, I still kind of not a huge fan of it. Obviously, if you bought Solana at $18 or something like that, you're chilling. Obviously, buying Solana right now, probably Solana. I did say that I think Solana was going to go to $600 to $800 in this cycle. This was like last year. Is Solana worth buying right now? If you're interested in less, risk. Obviously, there's risk on any crypto asset, but like when you're going into ETF demand with institutions, chances are that's probably going to keep going up. Billions of dollars probably will flow into Solana spot ETFs. And that's going to happen towards the end of the year, Q4, what he's saying. So, there's going to be a lot of institutions that are interested in 100 or 200 or 300% gains, and they'll probably find that on Solana. If you are looking for something that maybe hasn't, fully reached its potential, SUI is also something that I think people are sleeping on. HBAR and ADA, any of these tokens that have institutional demand coming in, those are something that you should be paying attention to, right? Those are some tokens that should do pretty well. Do you think, and we still have a lot of Bitcoin maximalists and people that own Bitcoin. The problem that you have right now, the people that bought Bitcoin a long time ago and they're sitting on it, right, because they want to cash in, they're looking at that $40 million vacation home and they're licking their lips. They need you to come in to Bitcoin because they need you to pump the price up so they can sell, right? Just like most crypto assets, right? But like, I'm just sick of hearing that Bitcoin is the future. Bitcoin's really not the future of anything, right? Bitcoin's maybe the future of tokenized gold. Like what do they say? Bitcoin is a store of wealth. That is what Bitcoin technology is right now, right? We know that there's a host of other better technologies. Like for data, you're using chain links. For payments, you're using HBAR, XRP, or XLM, or XDC, or SH. Like there are way better solutions for the tokenization of financial products. You're just not going to do it on Bitcoin, right? And so they can sell you all of these stories. They can sell you all the BS. And because of all of this, Bitcoin is probably going to go to 500K. It's probably going to go to $1 million. But Bitcoin to $1 million in the next 5 years, it's only a 900% gain from where you are today. Don't you think there are other assets that you could buy right now today that'll go up larger than 900% in the next 10 years? I'm not interested in that. Personally, me, I know some people are, but Like, I'm interested in taking the home run shot with your XRP, with your XLM, with your H bars, with your ADAs. That's what I'm really interested in. That's what I'm going to focus on. Let's just play this, man. I'm gonna grab some more water and Kyle Chase, man, this guy loves to sell you Bitcoin. Like, I think if this guy had a convenience store, it would just be all Bitcoin on every shelf all the time. But let me play it.
Do you think that Saylor and others who are predicting $10 million plus are unreasonable?
No, I think you're not going to get it within 10 years.
No,
right?
no.
So what I'm saying, look, I actually do think you're going to get 100x from here in Bitcoin.
Me too. Okay, good.
Over
We're on
20.
the same page. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's going to take until 2045 to get that, right?
Mhm.
So it's just there's a certain pace to these things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so roughly speaking, I think that you will get very high confidence you will get Bitcoin 1 million by 2035.
Yeah.
Some chance that you will get Bitcoin 1 million, at least a blip. It'll at least touch it in 5 years. Okay. So we could see it in 5 years, and Tom Lee would agree with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's possible. It's not even, it's, I would say almost probable, like a 50% probability. 50-50, we're going to see it in 5 years. Okay. But the trend will still, the power law trend only goes up to about 550,000, 600,000 in even in 10 years, it's not, sorry, in 5 years, it's by 2030, it's only 500,000.
So these guys are predicting Bitcoin to 500K in the next 5 years. That's a 5X, guys, right? Really 4X, right? Because you're putting it 100K to make 400K. I don't know too many people that are really juiced up about a 4X in 5 years, right? I don't know, man. I mean, these guys are still trying to sell you as hard as they can on it. I'm not buying what they're laying down, man. I'm not buying what they're laying down. Kanye West, I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. You had 11 traders make $1 million, 99 traders made 100K, and 51,000 traders lost $74 million. Yeah, this is kind of, this rubs me the wrong way, right? This rubs me the wrong way. And every time this dude puts out a new scam, he always says his account is hacked. Like, how do like, Kanye is maybe the only person that I've seen that has had his social media account hacked more times than I can even count at this point, right? And every time it's some scam or something, right, with insiders. I don't know, man. This stuff just makes me sick, dude. Like, don't you have enough money, bro? Like, weren't you married to Kim Kardashian or whatever? And like, don't you have enough money? I just don't understand why you need to launch a meme coin and have people lose. 51,000 people made money. 51,000 people lost money. They lost 74 million. And you had, this is what's the problem with the crypto market. This is the problem with the crypto market. Stuff like this, man. This is awful. You had 110 people make money, and you have 51,000 people lose money. That is awful. That is freaking awful. Anyways, there are 90 crypto ETFs pending SEC approval. 90. I mean, I tried to stress to people the importance of the time that we're in. And, some days I feel like I do a good job about it. And some days, maybe I think I could do a better job, but I don't think people were really prepared for what's to come. I don't even know how to describe it at this point. Like, what market would you rather be in the next 10 years, right? What other market is going to go from 4 trillion to 100 trillion, but has the chance to scale into the, quadrillions of dollars, right? Because eventually this money is going to come onto blockchain. Eventually the real estate, debt, lending and borrowing, mortgages, freaking car loans. I would imagine that most of this stuff eventually will wind up on the blockchain, right? And you just wonder at how quickly that'll happen. And what happens if you get 100 trillion or 200 trillion dollars on a network? Like, What is that going to feel like? What is the token price going to look like on something like that, right? Because you can imagine how many transactions and volume and all of this stuff will just be insane. Let's see here. So many people will be broke because they will lose their minds with the amount of money that, yeah, like, I mean, I think that could be said, like, if you look at lottery winners, right? A lot of people that hit big on lottery end up being broke like 5 years later. You know, it's gonna, you know, there's not much we can do, right? People are people, right? And some people can be in the right place at the right time and make a killing, but then they don't know how to manage it and keep it, right? And, you know, can't really do much. That's why you talk with a financial advisor, right? That's why you have a plan. That's why, you know, you set some stuff up, right? Just in case, because things are going to get real bad if not. By the way, the shoes aren't even comfortable. We're trying to talk about what's his name? Crazy and immediate rug pull. Soon, maybe some regulation. I don't know, man. Like, Melania token, that lost 98% of its value real quick too, right? So, like, I don't know. Like, I could see Kanye West in court saying, "Hey, if you're not going to prosecute other people for the same thing, why are you prosecuting me?" I could see him making a case like that. So, you know, part of the issue has been, you know, I don't know if I want to get down. You know what? I'm not even going to go down this rabbit hole right now. Committing some type of financial fraud in the crypto space isn't as bad if you have the money to get out of it, right? If you have the money to pay to get out of it, you can do that. And I think we've seen people do that, right? Just off the top of my head, someone like Justin Sun, right? CZ was in some hot water and now CZ's forgiven. You know, like, you can buy your way out of it if you have enough money. If you don't, that's another story, man. That's another story. Yeah, you can lead a horse to water. Yeah, you know, like, not everybody sees what you see, right? And I bet, like, some of us, right? A lot of us heard crypto talked about before, and then we just didn't believe, or we didn't know enough about it, and something hooked us in. I don't know if it was a video or a tweet or something, like, something piqued our interest. And then, as human beings do, we go down a rabbit hole, and, you know, we get involved, and, you know, things can turn into, you know, turn into something, but you have to be able to spend the time in. Yeah. I mean, there's people, you know, people are going to, you know, have LLCs and, you know, borrow against their assets and things like that. I mean, these are all good strategies, guys. All good strategies. Stephen Dale says, in conclusion, including derivatives on gross notional basis could push XRP's theoretical price if it captures 1% of total liquidity, $124 per token. Is that real though? Like, isn't the notional value of derivatives only like 16 trillion or something? The notional value? I don't know. I have to take a look at that. Cold wallets and exchanges. I mean, you know, when people talk about cold wallets, I hear some of the cold wallets mentioned: Ledger, Decent, Treasure, EliPow, Tangem. Those are like the 5 most mentioned wallets that I hear people talk about. Anyways, let's keep it going here. Looks like the Amplify XRP option income ETF was just filed. You know, I didn't know what the heck this was, so I researched it, right? So let me pull up that research. 1 second here. Where is that research? I did this morning, but like, I have so many searches here. Oh, you know what? Hold on 1 second. I'm a little lost. It is, where did that? Okay, hold on. It is called Amplify XRP. This is what I need to search. Oh, what? Here it is. All right, got it. Okay, so What does an amplify XRP ETF mean? Amplify ETFs ETFs have filed for an XRP option income ETF. This is like the first time I'm hearing about something like this, which would be an actively managed exchange traded fund aiming to generate monthly income using options strategies on XRP. This filing signals a major attempt to bring mainstream regulated investment products to the XRP ecosystem, potentially allowing institutional and retail investors to gain exposure to XRP's price movements and or on yield generation without holding the asset directly. So that's pretty cool. You know, I'd imagine there's going to be new products that are going to be issued and talked about. Like one thing here, I did want to just bring this up. This is another virtuals that I've been holding on to here. This is FACY. Let me just, if I wouldn't be doing myself justice if I didn't bring this up. Okay. So I originally shared this in Cryptonaires at 1.9 million market cap. This is currently, this has a high here of, I don't even know what this high is. Hold on. Because it's in virtual. Hold on. This has a high of, I think it's like 14 or 15 million. And this is down about 17% right now. But I have been trying to add back some of the bag. I had originally taken some profit on this, and I maybe took a little too much profit. And I'm trying to add back the bag. There's a lot of people that believe this is going to, full send. This actually, it weighs rhetoric with reason, memes with metaphysics. Tag me in a thread and I will fact check it. I reply with facts, not feelings. And so this particular virtuals, I saw some crazy statistic that FACY is one of the most accurate. Yeah, here it is. Delivers verified truth in a world full of AI hallucinations with 92% accuracy. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. And so, something like this could have extreme value. And I've seen a lot of people that believe this is going to go into the hundreds of millions in market cap. I don't know if that's going to happen. But I do know 92% accuracy, being able to fact check something in real time is extremely important in this ever growing world. So that's something that could grow into something. So Min and FACY are one of my two bigger bags holdings on virtuals right now. Just wanted to express that to you and let you know that. I'm hoping these things kind of kick off and really bring some big gains. I'm also holding on to Ori. This is one of those projects that I originally told you I bought early. We'll have to see how this. I've been trying to post updates in my community about this. If you bought Ori with me, right? If you've been holding on to this, just what they accomplished in the last few days. Subdomains are now fully operational. Every website has its own and can customize it. Custom domains go live today, and users can connect to their own. The Solana mobile app has been submitted for approval, typically 1 to 3 business days. The token dashboard is now live with our homepage and tokens page. Still a work in progress. We're improving how projects are showcased, adding image previews and exploring a remix feature similar to Lovable. The mobile UI has been updated and is now seen the bottom menu that makes Orient feel like a mobile app. Most importantly, we work hard in improving the quality of generations. This is the biggest focus right now, and wait to ship it. So this is also something that could do some pretty zesty numbers here, hopefully over the next few weeks. And I'm excited. We'll have to see. Man, it's always nice to buy something like really early and just make some money. All right. I did find this extremely interesting. I made 2 videos earlier today, and I did include this. SBI Holdings basically is working with this company called Gumi. Gumi is they are a Japanese video game giant, and they announced an acquisition of 2.5 billion yen worth of XRP to use its blockchain business model. What I found really interesting about this is this Wrath Economin post. Look at this. Tell me if you see what I see in this top line here. Let me know when you see it, right? Let me know when you see it. I'll actually give it even better. It's actually in this sentence right here. Let me know when you see it. Oh, can you not see when I highlight something? That's unfortunate. Okay. What I'm trying to highlight here is they purchased $6 million in Bitcoin, but they are going to purchase 17 million in XRP. They're buying more XRP than Bitcoin. You see that? You see that? Ooh, I thought Bitcoin had all the utility, man. Well, why are they buying more XRP than Bitcoin? What's up with that? But anyways, they're going to use XRP in its ecosystems through contributing to the expansion of XRP ecosystem, which plays an important role in the international remittance and liquidity network strategy, preliminary promoted by SBI Holdings. So SBI basically told this company that XRP is the way to go here, and love to see that, man. Love to see that. There is some new drama happening that we should talk about briefly here. The U.S. Court of Appeals has ruled President Trump's global tariffs to be illegal 30 minutes after futures closed. And the ruling came out ahead of Labor Day weekend when markets are closed for the next 3 days. Any coincidence? And so I just wanted to get some more information to better understand, is this done? I don't think it's done. But the immediate removal or invalidation of tariffs could spark substantial volatility in financial markets, especially since the announcement occurred after the futures closed and markets, blah, blah, blah. Businesses reliant on imports may see rapid shift in costs and supply chains, and prices in imported goods could drop. So this could be extremely beneficial to businesses and people in the United States and countries that do business in the United States. If this is upheld and the tariffs are not, they're basically struck down. Oh my goodness. Hold on a second. Hold on one second. Sorry, my business thing, when I hooked into my Gmail, sometimes I get a call and it's just ringing in my ears and I cannot concentrate. Sorry about that. I need to somehow shut that off. Anyways, just looking at this, studies estimate that Trump tariffs have resulted in the average American or average person paying $1,200 to $2,800 per household, which I don't know what the plan was here. Anyways, after I saw this tweet, the U.S. Court of Appeals has allowed Trump tariffs to remain in effect as the case is reviewed. So they've already appealed it. They're going to review it, and they might even take this to the Supreme Court. So, I've given you my honest opinion about tariffs the whole way through. I think this has been absolutely horrific for American businesses. This was, I don't know what the plan was here, but manufacturing isn't coming back to America. There's been really no investment. I mean, there's been promises, right? But there's been actual no investment from any of this. And a lot of countries will not do business with the U.S. right now because of some of these trade wars. And let me just take a look. How many deals have we gone so far? Let me just double check this. I don't want to give you the wrong information. How many trade deals have actually been signed? Remember, there was supposed to be, it originally started with 90 trade deals in 90 days, and then that passed, and then, we had 4 or something. Just to give you an updated number here. Let's see, the European Union looks like they might have a trade deal, 15% tariffs. Japan's actually the Japanese did agree to something, but then the Japanese people that were Japan was sending a contingent of negotiators. They actually just canceled their trip. Did anybody see that recently? So I don't think that's going down. United Kingdom and Vietnam and maybe South Korea and maybe Pakistan. So We still have 80 something countries to go and maybe a few deals here. But I know here, hold on. Japan tariff negotiators canceled trip. I know that they are having an awful time right now trying to get this stuff done. And personally, I don't know what's going to happen here, guys, but eventually this is going to catch up to U.S. businesses and U.S. consumers. Japan's trade negotiator cancels U.S. visit over tariff deal snag. So, yeah, it's not going good. It's not going good at all. I will stop talking about tariffs because I know we don't want to get political. I'm just giving you the facts. All right, I'm not going to give you my personal opinion about it. I'm just going to give you the absolute facts on the ground of what we're dealing with, and it's not good. The thing is, like, you know, you get into this. Where would we be if we didn't go down this road, right? Like, manufacturing represents 9% of the U.S. economy, 9%. So we went through all of this to get back what, a few percent of the 9, like it's 70 something percent is what services. Like, the US is more focused on services because they're higher paying jobs, right? I don't know too many people that are waking up every day and they're like, let's go work in a factory to put trinkets together. You are never going to compete at scale with countries that are like India or Mexico or, you know, Thailand. Like, you're never going to compete with labor against these countries. So, like, you know, I was watching something, you know, about this company actually made the same product, and they made the same product, one in America and one overseas, and they offered the product to their customers. Same product. The US product was $100 more than the product that was made overseas. You know how many people bought the US product for $100 more? Zero did. And so you start to wonder on a larger scale what this would look like, right? There's a few people that would pay that extra money, right? People that have that extra money, but most people don't have that extra money. So sooner or later, they're going to figure this out. And, you know, the reason they are in a rush to drop rates right now is because I think there's a little panic going on, because you raised $150 billion in tariffs so far. It's $150 billion that US companies and Americans don't have that they used to have, right? And you start to wonder, like, how much longer that can play out. We'll see. I haven't been a fan from the beginning. You know that. I'll get off it. They also said this is incredible. Bitcoin ETFs are on track to surpass gold ETFs is in assets under management for the first time in history. AUM is the largest cryptocurrency ETF, has doubled over the last 12 months, $150 billion. During the same period, gold ETFs risen 40% to $180 billion. To put this into perspective, gold ETFs were 5 times larger than Bitcoin ETFs just 3 years ago. At this pace, Bitcoin ETFs will overtake gold ETFs by the end of the year, right? And you start to wonder what will happen with, you know, XRP ETFs and Solana ETFs and all these other things that are coming, where, you know, once people start finding out, like, hey, there's actual utility that's involved in some of these other tokens, that's going to be really good. Also, when it comes to U.S. spending is actually higher in 2025 than it was in 2024, which means we have not got spending under control. We are spending more money than we used to. The U.S. money to supply has surged 4.8% year over year in July to a record 22.12 trillion. So market is expanding, money is expanding. This also marks the 21st consecutive monthly increase. Growth has accelerated since July 2024 when M2 rose just 1.6%. By comparison, the long-term growth rate has averaged 6.3%, largely driven by the pandemic period. Meanwhile, inflation-adjusted M2 money supply rose 2% year over year last month, the largest increase since February 2022. Now, in the short term, guys, I think this is going to be really good for markets. When you lower rates and make money more affordable, people are going to go borrow, and they're going to go borrow, and they're going to invest in crypto. They're going to invest in stocks. They're going to invest in other stuff like gold. So in the short term, this is going to dramatically help out. But we've seen this movie before. When you drop rates, you print money. What happens? Inflation. So I'd expect that's going to rear its ugly head sometime in 2026. And some of this economic data will start rearing its head towards the end of the year and into 2026. So just be prepared for that. We're probably going to go through some adjustment periods, and just be ready for that. Okay. July PCE inflation, the Fed's preferred inflation measure, rises to 2.6% in line with expectations. That's really good. Core PC inflation rises 2.9% in line with expectations. So this is good. That's in line. Core PC inflation is now the highest since February 2025, and rate cuts are coming, which means this is going to rise. Unfortunately, we were almost to the point where this all was like gravy, right? They were trying to get down to 2%. They were so close. And now we're going to be very far away for another few years. The current bull market is historically strong. 75% of stocks, 3 out of 4 major clinical sectors are now above the 200-day moving averages per sentiment trader. Every time this has happened since 1953, the S&P has had strong gains the next following 12 months. So I would imagine, looking at this data, mid next year, right? Mid. I mean, if you look at this data going back to 1953, they're saying we should be gravy until August of next year in the stock market. We'll have to see if that plays out with historical information, but that's something good to know. While large cap tech names are increasingly driving the market, small caps are starting to catch up. The interesting part here is there's a lot of institutions that have been sitting on the sidelines because they weren't sure how all of this economic data, this tariff stuff was going to play through. Retail has been the one who's been pumping the stock market and the crypto market. Institutions got about $7 trillion on the sidelines right now. That money is going to come into play. I'd imagine once rates start to go down, institutions will be forced to jump in, and that's going to send the stock market even higher. All right. So be prepared for that. Should be a good time, man. Should be a good time. All right. Let's go to some questions. Dude, crypto, I know some people are really bullish on the stock market, but I try to tell my dad, where do you see the stock market in 6 months or a year? Maybe you see it 20% higher. That'd be cool. But in that same year, where's the crypto market going to be, right? There's people that think we're going to go, this 10-year run. I don't know. Obviously, the stock market might come with lower risk than the crypto market, but it's all risk, right? And what is your appetite to that risk? Scott says, you would use Bill, you use XRP as collateral. You could take out loan insurance. You'll never get liquidated on your loan. Man, yeah, definitely if you're interested in getting some information on this, just talk with a financial advisor, right? That's probably your smartest bet. Get a plan together, right? Even if it costs you some money to get that plan together, I'd imagine how much money it costs you to put the plan together will probably save you a lot of money in the long run if you don't have a plan, right? So thoughts on RTX. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, man. RTX. My brain is not comprehending RTX, so just give me 1 second here. RTX. Orbit? Or it's got to be Orbit. Oh, that's an interesting chart. What? That looks a little strange to me, brother. That looks real strange to me, man. Oh, okay. So this just launched 627. That's why it looks strange. Okay. I was gonna say, if that's the chart, this thing's been out for a while. Look at this. This thing looks suspect, dude. CoinMarketCap has not verified the project market cap. Wait, hold on. Let me just make sure I'm dealing with the right thing here, dude. Am I dealing with the right thing here, Christopher? Is this the right? Oh, okay. We're talking about two different things here. XRP 2.0. Yeah, no, it's probably a scam. There is no XRP 2.0. There's only XRP. XRP 2.0, XRP 3.0, XRP 10.0. Scam. Just stay away. Don't lose any of your money, man. Stay away. Yeah, man. It looked a bit manipulated, didn't it? I was like, this. I've seen this before. This doesn't play out well. Yeah. Just be careful, man. Only going up. This is our moment. All right, was that a? I don't know. During the day, my wife sends me, stuff from K-pop Demon Hunters. So I don't know if that is a K-pop Demon Hunters reference, and my mind is going to it, or you're just saying up, because we went to go see it. They did a screening at the movie theater last weekend. It was a sing along, and let me tell you, like there was kids in there screaming their ears like I was like, oh snap, you know. I'm like trying to eat my popcorn. I was like, oh, this is a sing along. Like people were going crazy in that thing, man. That was a lot of fun though. Do I recommend XLM? Yeah, I'm not a financial advisor, so like I don't recommend like financial anything, right? Just to be clear with you, like I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I'm just a random guy next to a seal and a Mandalorian Mickey Mouse, okay, and whatever this thing is. I think XLM is solving a problem for retail and unbanked, and I think that is going to be extremely successful in my personal opinion. Absolutely in that respect, yes. I mean, like there's so many people, like everyone's got a really good plan, staking, getting some additional rewards. Like these are all great things, guys. These are all great things. Just make sure if you're going to stake, understand the, what that means. How long are you locking this up? What happens if something happens to this company while it's staked? Like there's some things that you should, probably look into before you commit to any staking, right? How easy is it to get your money back or off the platform to unstake it? Is there a penalty? Like these are some things that you probably want to look into before you jump into that, but I'm sure you know that. Nice, Bill. Yeah. Like ain't no K-pop. All good, man. All good. That dude, that's such a good movie. I know, like you hear the name and you're like, this is probably stupid, but like dude, that movie is so good. It's so good. Like I think they're gonna win an Oscar for like best animated movie, best movie soundtrack. Like the soundtrack to that movie is just like fire, man. It's so good. Moonsun. No, you know what it reminds me of? Like when I was growing up, like Sailor Moon was a very popular TV show. And like it kind of reminds me of like early Sailor Moon days for some reason. Bill says he's gonna hold till he retires. Bill, like, man, I hope that's soon, brother. I hope that's soon. Yep, near and render are good choices long term for in the AI space, and renders is solving some problems at scale. Near is also very popular. Like the hard part for me is like, like do I go buy near or do I go buy more XRP or do I go buy, like that's the hard part, right? When you know about so many crypto assets, like I'm putting more money into the crypto market. Am I really gonna like before I would buy near, I would be like, okay, do I want to buy more ADA? Do I want to buy more XLM? Do I want to buy more XRP? Do I want to buy more XDC? Do I want to buy any of these assets? Like that is what my mind goes to, and I never can make it to some of this other stuff, right? It's just difficult. Has anybody looked into G-Col being a competitor for RLUSD? Let's take a look, man. What's G-Col? GCUL. Let's do this together. Do you have any info on G-Col? GCUL? GCUL. Maybe a stable coin company or token. Let's see. G-Cool refers to Google Cloud Universal Ledger, a new institutional grade blockchain developed by Google Cloud that is actively targeting stablecoin digital finance. Hold on. I don't know about this though. Hold on. Look at the sources though. These look like some suspect. Brave new coin. This looks like a suspect website. Hold on. 1 second here. Bitcoinnews.com. I mean, Bitcoin News should be reputable, but I don't know if people can pay to post whatever they want on these sites. G-Cool is not a stable coin, but a full layer 1 blockchain platform. Google Cloud startup beyond stable coins. I mean, I'd have to see some other information on this. It's hard to kind of do a full deep dive like live, but part of me says be careful. Part of me says it could be something. You know, I'd have to take a look, man. I'd have to definitely take a look. Just be careful. Like, I always try to check, like, you know, what are the quote unquote news sites that are reporting it, right? Like, if you have an announcement from Google about it, like, that would be the top, right? I'd look for that. Yeah, Slim Jim says stick to the rails. I like that, man. I just watched the trailer. Like, listen, I'm not gonna steer you wrong, and I know it's not for everybody. But like, there's a reason that it's been the #1 movie on Netflix for like 3 months. I think it's the number watched movie on Netflix ever. Like, man, I've seen it like 7 times. Like, I've seen it like 7 times. There's a part in the movie that I've seen that, like, you know, I rewinded to that special part, and I just watched that like 10-minute part because that's my favorite. It's at the end where like everyone's going into, you know, the big arena, and Your Idol is the song, and it goes right into Golden, and that is like the best part of the movie, man. Go watch that, dude. Go watch that. Yeah, I mean, like, can you buy it though? Game of Cats? I mean, it looks interesting. I mean, I'd have to spend a lot more time fully understanding it, but I don't know if Google is going to like, why would Google put out a token that people can buy though? That's like the first thing that comes to my head. Like, I got little warning bells in my head going off. So I would want to look at that. Oh, you guys see, you know, the reason I talk about shows and movies is because, like, that's the only thing I have time for, right? I don't really do much else. So Dark Wolf, did you guys see that on Prime? That was like the prequel for Terminalist, which was a really good show. I was started to watch that, man. That's pretty cool. So Yuki says, as a low-income household, I'm stuck to only invest in 2 assets, XRP, HBAR, and we'll try to accumulate over the next couple of years. Yuki, I think there's a lot of people that are you know, in your shoes, man. And listen, you know, whatever you're able to do, I think you know, down the line, you know, if mass adoption happens like we think it might, right? And as we know, crypto is the new financial rails. I think those 2 assets might bring you to where you want to be in life, and I'll be rooting for you, man. I really will. You know, making a difference and doing something, that's the most important part. That's the most important part. Bill says, I've learned so much from you, Crypto Sensei. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Bill, appreciate you, man. Hopefully it's the good stuff. I know sometimes with me get the, you know, but hey, I want to see each and every one of you do good. Like, I generally want that in my heart. You know, I want you all to succeed. I really do. I really do. Dude, I am a Harry Potter fan. Like, I could take you around my house right now, and here, 1 second. You know what this is? You know what this is? We have some things. We have a thing hanging up in the kitchen. It's you know, it's I can't remember the exact quote, but it's Dumbledore's quote about the light and, you know, staying in the light. But my wife and I, like, every year we watch all the movies, you know, all the Harry Potter movies. We're really big fans too. Dude, Christopher, listen, if you watch it, you come back on Tuesday, you tell me what you think. Like, Be brutally honest with me, but I think you're gonna like it, dude. Gladiator is good, man. Gladiator is good. If you like Gladiator, I mean, I don't know. If you like those kind of like Dark Wolf is a really good SEAL show. Like if you like SEALs and those like actions and team shows, where they're kind of, I think they did a pretty good job. Obviously, I'm not a SEAL. I don't know like how it is in real life, but it looked pretty cool, man. It looked pretty cool, dude. My daughter has been wanting to watch it, but it's something that is demonic. Not really. I mean, like, just like anything, there's like good and bad. So here's the premise of the show. There is a girl K-pop band, and they have been around for hundreds of years defending people in Korea by singing, and they keep demons out by uniting and singing, with everybody and bringing joy or whatever. And through the movie, the like demons are having a really hard time getting new souls, and they're drying up, and they have these, they don't really have any good ideas to bring new souls in, and so they have an idea of creating a K-pop boy band to compete with a good girl band, and there's a love story in there, and there's friendship, and I was in the movie theater with like 100 kids, and they were all singing, and they knew every single word. So I don't think like you have to worry too much, but obviously I don't know your household and all of that stuff. Maybe just, take a quick peek at it. But I mean, I thought it was one of the better movies, and like, I think you'd enjoy it. Don't spoil it. I didn't say how it ends. I didn't say any of that stuff. I gave you like the very, very brief premise of it, man. Can't be worse than Trolls. Yeah, Smallville. I've never seen Smallville. Hey, we all have shows that we like, like I used to be a big fan of X-Files. I used to every time a new episode of X-Files was on, I used to watch it with my mom. Like that was our show. I would be home, and my mom and I would and this was like before like you could record like TiVo and stuff like that. Like you had to have the VCR recorder, and you used to put the tape in and then hit record, right? But that was my mom and I show. We used to watch every episode of X-Files. That was really good. And then like growing up at MacGyver and those types of shows, right? Those were pretty cool. Baywatch, right? Who you gotta like if you were a younger boy during that time, you watch Baywatch. The truth is out there. Yeah, see? Yeah. Scully, Mulder, still, man. Still, dude. Yeah, dude. Probably didn't do the X-Files logo justice there, or the X-Files theme justice there, but I know what you're talking about. MacGyver was the best, dude. Man, they just don't make TV shows like that anymore. Ready Player One, dude. Ready Player One is like one of those movies that you look back on, that was before its time. Like this is where this is going. They're spot on, man. They're so spot on in that. Shameless is good. And like one of the actors in Shameless is in The Bear. Have you watched The Bear? That's pretty cool, dude. The Bear is pretty cool. But The Bear has some episodes that you're like, it takes you to the edge. You're like, is this gonna be over? Like I don't know. Some of like the scenes are so intense that you're like, it's causing some anxiety. But dude, Shameless is a good show, dude. Tales from the Crypt, that used to scare the crap out of me. That used to scare. Okay, so here I'll share something personal with you, very personal. So, when I was growing up, I was a kid, right? I was probably like 11. No, I might have been younger than that. This was. We moved around so much as a kid, so it's hard for me to put times in. I was in middle school. No, I was in elementary school. So I was like 9. I was really young. And my mom, my mom and dad separated when I was young, when I was 7. And I was living with my mom at the time. And my mom, very hard worker. And she's a real estate agent. And, she would be out, working, trying to provide for our family, right? And we used to live in this town called Hillsborough. And, my brother lived with us, but he was, he was, 18, 17, 18. And he was, he was always out with his friends and, driving his car and stuff like that. And I didn't want to be home. And so I was home alone a lot. And in this particular part of Hillsborough, it was very dark. Like there's not a lot of street lamps. And so it was just dark. Right. And I always thought we had a big, this backyard that kind of went up, and I always thought there was something out there. And so one night, I don't know what I was thinking, but I started watching Leprechaun. And by the time I was midway through that movie, I was hiding under a table. I was so scared, man. I was hiding under a table. My mom came home late, very late. She was, this is, some weird stuff for me. This was actually a weird night. So my mom didn't come home till like 1 o'clock in the morning. So she was at a Southland Mall, which was in the Bay Area. She was trying to help a client sign some paperwork. This was before email and a bunch of stuff, right? This is a long time ago. And there was a shooting at the mall. And my mom was very close to the person that was shot. And so they needed her statement and things like that. And so she didn't come home for a long time. And I couldn't get a hold of her. There's no cell phones. This was before and so you had the home phone. And I was scared. I always had a hard time watching horror movies or scary movies from that. So Tales from the Crypt brought up some of those memories of just being scared out of my pants, man. Just scared. Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah. Police Academy. That's a good one too. Ariana knows what's up. Goonies. Yeah, man. We're going through a lot of good stuff. Tales from the Dark Side. What does that sound familiar? Tales from the Dark Side. Oh, man. See, I don't even know about this one. Hold on. Tales from the Dark Side. $1990 Tales from the Dark Side. I probably did watch this then. John Harrison. I'll have to take a look at that. Thanks, Slim Jim. Do we know why crypto is tanking? Gorillas, usually August is a weird month. We historically Bitcoin has not performed well in August. And you're getting, there's a lot of fear in the market right now. There's a lot of people that haven't been through cycles before and they really don't know kind of what's happening. And a lot of people are just getting liquidated out here. This is kind of August, September is but towards the end of the year should be crazy, man. All the institutional demand. I mean, I know you probably are sick of hearing this, but usually these dips are good buying opportunities. So somebody that's been through this before will tell you that, this will come to an end and things will start going up soon, but you're going to get this choppiness. You're going to get dips. You're going to get, panic. You're going to get fear. It's part of every market. And because there's not as much liquidity in the crypto market, when there is fear and there is panic, the markets are affected much harder than let's say the stock market, right? So it's just one of those things, man. And I know it sucks, but there's not one thing that specifically is causing all of this. I think it's just August jitters, man, to be honest with you. Goosebumps series on TV. I never got into the Goosebumps series on TV. It was the old school Goosebumps, right? Not the I had the books. Home Alone the movie. Now we're getting way back there. NCIS Hawaii. Scott, you're too funny, man. How you still on the Big Island? How you doing? Mike, what's up, dude? The original Exorcist. Oh my goodness, we're getting a lot of good reviews right now for movies. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh my goodness. Miami Vice, dude. I really like the movie that they made. I know it was kind of a corny movie, but with oh god, it was Jamie is it Jamie Foxx or whatever, and can't remember the other guy. Robert, get back to the news, bro. Massive announcement. All U.S. stocks coming on chain Wednesday, 9/3. Apple, Visa, Google. Are you talking about through Ondo? Are you talking about through Ondo? I mean, I talked about crypto for like an hour and 45 minutes. You know, just wanted to talk about something else for a minute. You know, my whole life is crypto, 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 crypto. Sometimes I just want to talk about regular stuff, but I hear what you're talking about. I think you're talking about Ondo, right, dude? You talking about this? Right. Hold on. You talking about this? You are talking about September 3rd. Well, yeah, what happens in 7 days? This is what you're talking about. September 3rd, 2025, Ondo Finance will launch its Ondo Global Markets platform, enabling global access outside of the U.S. to tokenize U.S. stocks, ETF, bonds via blockchain, allowing 24/7 trading and fractional ownership for non-U.S. investors. This is what you're talking about, Russ? I think that's what you're talking about. I mean, I talk about it in my videos. Like I brought this up in like 2 or 3 of my recent videos. So I hear you, man. I get you. So tomorrow, we're having for some friends over. Tomorrow we're actually having a party to celebrate 100,000 subscribers. And so you know, my wife's been planning this for a little bit of time here, and so we're gonna have some friends and close family friends over, and we're just gonna hang out and eat some food and enjoy. I had to cancel my massage tomorrow, which I was not super excited about, but it should be a lot of fun, man. What about you, Christopher? Any plans for you, dude? My whole life is crypto. Yes, Ondo, and I love crypto. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. You know, like 10, 12 hours of my day is crypto. And so like if I could get 15 minutes just being a regular person outside of crypto, that I enjoy that too, Oh, that's good, Scott. I hope you recover pretty quickly, man. It's always hard when you got it's either on your shoulder or your hip. I know, like, recovering from my hip procedure, surgery was a lot more than I thought it was going to be. Like, I've had a lot of surgery on my legs, like bone spur stuff removal, and that was pretty simple. Like I was walking within a few days, but the hip stuff's a little more serious. And so I hope you recover, man. I appreciate you, Steve. Thank you, man. You're too kind. I'm not gonna give him a karate chop. I get it, man. Raz is hungry. He's hungry. I understand. Right now, like there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, that you guys don't see, and it's right now, since the channel has had a lot of success in the market, we're getting, there's a lot of companies in the blockchain space reaching out. And so we just did some stuff for Coinbase. We're working on some stuff for Gemini. We're working on some stuff for Ledger. We're working on some stuff for Decent. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that I've been trying to get done while making 3 videos a day and trying to support, my community and stuff like that. So, sometimes you just gotta be just a regular person, Slim Jim with the 1999. Slim, I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for the donation. That means a lot. Any donations on the channel actually go to my dog, and we go and we buy her some really healthy treats. And so Luna thanks you. I thank you. I really appreciate you, man. Since have you ever getting ahead of most influencers to start to educate your viewers on passive income? So the word passive income that's a very thin line in between financial advice, right? And I don't want to ever be in a position where I'm giving financial advice to people, because I'm not that. I care deeply about people being successful, but I'm not any type of financial advisor. So I can tell you that I've been in the crypto space for 5 years, and I used to buy a lot of projects, newer projects, talking about passive income and DeFi and all this stuff. Most of those projects don't exist anymore. So, I just don't get it as excited about passive income in the crypto space as I used to. I know there's a lot of pitfalls and a lot of things that can happen, and I just try to avoid that at this point. I just want to buy XRP and these type of assets. I just want to participate where I'm comfortable, and that's where I feel comfortable, man. There's a lot of other channels out there that'll tell you to buy this and to do that, and just be careful. Be careful. I appreciate you though being here. Thank you for sharing that. I need to buy some Luna X and XRP. Well, actually, it's funny you said that. I haven't, the last 10 years of my life have been pretty crazy. And I moved back to California when I turned 30. This was like 10 years ago. And I started working at this BMW dealership. And I had originally gotten a job to be in the internet department. And like the same day I was about to start, they said that, the internet person that I was replacing was coming back, and I had to basically be out on the line. And my legs were in really bad shape, and it kind of took everything out of me. And then like I needed to have surgery because my legs got so bad, my bone spurs got so bad in my legs. And for a few years, I wasn't the same, and I barely made it out of that. And then, I found crypto about 5 years ago, did some real estate, found crypto. And, from 2022 to 2020, like the end of 2024, my YouTube channel didn't make any money. It just didn't. Like when you pay for editing, you pay for your thumbnails, you pay for all the stuff. Didn't make any money. And so I wasn't really saving for my retirement too much in that respect. And I just started looking into like Roths and things like that. And I'm actively starting to try to save for it, like, of course, my crypto trading that I'm doing, but I'm trying to also build a retirement portfolio through that. And I'm actually going to take some steps. And when you said like you need to buy Luna, some XRP, I was thinking about like retirement and things like that. That's where my head went. Got to duplicate myself. I know, man. It's just so hard sometimes, man. It's like, you want to do so many, you want to help as many people as you can. And like, sometimes you just don't have the bandwidth to do everything that you want to do. And it's difficult, man. Yeah. There's a lot of ways to make money in crypto, but usually what happens is, the higher the return, the higher the risk, right? So if you see something with 20%, 30%, 100%, usually it's not going to last too long. I think you can look at like what happened with Terra Luna. Just got to be careful, man. Just got to be careful. I like that. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Yeah, did that. But like I need to do some other stuff, and I just started to plan for that now. Everything is divine timing, man. I like Slim Jim, man. He's coming up with some pretty good zingers, some pretty good, Oh, I appreciate you, El Chapo. Listen, like the crypto space can be exciting, and it can be all of these things, well, like I know that, don't go too fast, don't believe everything you hear and see. And just be cautious. That's all I can tell you. Like I've lost a lot of money in the crypto space by jumping in 2 feet very, very too quickly. So there's a lot of promises in the crypto space, and there's very few people that deliver on those promises. So just that's all. And when you have an audience that watches 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 people watch a video, gotta be very careful in kind of what you say, right? Because you might be comfortable with doing some things in the crypto space that other people are just have no idea how to do. And like sometimes people will feed off your excitement and they'll want to explore those same areas. And I worry about that sometimes. So I just try to stick with the news and the information. And if people want to take it a step further, there's other places that they can do that. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, guys, listen, I've been going 2 hours. I'm spent. I've been working too many hours this week, but listen, I appreciate your time. I appreciate, I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I want to thank Ariana. I want to thank OSOK. I want to thank, Christopher, Zelfernai, Curtis. I want to thank everyone who is asking questions. Bar Slim Jim, thank you for the donation, man. Chipper, thank you for everyone who's spending time on the channel, and it means the world to me. It really does. And I want to see all of you just have so much success in the crypto market. That's really what'll do it for me. So have a good weekend. Spend some time with somebody you love, and go watch K-pop Demon Hunters. No, I'm just kidding. Have a good weekend, guys. All right, I'll see you on Tuesday. Got a lot of stuff coming up next week. I'll see you on Tuesday. Aloha.